Hey, this is Tiffany Forney. Anyway, I'm here with my coach, Sean Calder, and I'm going to do a little interview for you today because many people have asked me a ton of questions about him, so I thought I'd drag him here for you to send some of your questions right on to him. Anyway, hi, Sean.
Hi, Tiffany.
Sorry. This is my first interview, so it's not going to be very good. I just want to give people a little bit of history about you, so why don't you tell them?
All right, so I have been competitively bodybuilding for 19 years and have competed in pro baseball and pro football, and am in the military, active duty, in the Army just went on active duty, go to graduate school for nursing anesthesia, and let's see. Met Tiffany. She approached me in the gym once to help her out to get ready for a figure show, and we took her up, and well, everybody's seen what she's done. And I guess that's about. There's a lot more to the story, and you can visit my website, SeanCalder.net, to find out more about me.
All right, now people always ask me what to look for in a coach. So I was wondering, what advice can you give people who are looking to find a coach to either lose weight or to compete?
Well, you have to ask yourself, what is the experience of the coach? And you can look at all the initials behind someone's name, but if they've never competed and they've never stepped up on stage, it's hard to believe that they actually know what they're talking about. They're almost like regurgitating a book or something they were told by somebody else, and they don't have practical application. So I kind of look at a combination of both, where they have not only practical experience, but they also have some kind of professional experience, credentialing, the more the better, diversity, what kind of athletes. Another thing really important to look at is what have their athletes done? Get references, see how successsul they've been. Have they always had good relations with them, things of the sort.
All right. Now, do you train all of your athletes the same? Do they have the same training, the same diets, and everything like that?
No, absolutely not. Every athlete's kind of unique in whatever their goals are. And there's a basic kind of framework that I work with athletes, and then I try to figure out what works best for them and what's doable in their life. My heavy focus is on dietary discipline, so that's really what I put my emphasis on. But there's many facets of people's lives that you need to take into consideration, what's going on with them personally, stress management, sleep. I only believe in the use of supplements when everything else in their regimen is correct, and that includes eating right, training hard and consistent, proper sleep and stress management. And I also think that a spiritual foundation that's strong also has a positive effect in people's lives.
Now, with some of your athletes right now, what are the things that you're currently focusing on with them?
Well, like I said, the diet is the most important thing, and I try to make it like a lifestyle, a doable lifestyle. And I believe, in generally speaking, that we're designed, most people, to eat primarily protein sources and lots of vegetables. Carbohydrates are useful only when you need them, and under high stress, i.e. training, when you first wake up after you've been starving all day, all night on your sleep, it's important. But I believe that it's really important to have a good amount of protein and vegetables in the diet primarily, and lots of fluid intake.
All right. Now, speaking of diets, what do you think is the worst fad diet out there?
Okay. Now, this is something Tiffany talked about a little bit off this camera. There's not a bad diet. It's how you use the diet in your own life that makes it bad. So every diet has a use, an applicability that used over a certain period of time could be useful. It's how people use it, and there's no absolute. So everything can be manipulated and twisted and turned so it's good for everybody. So I think that you have to take into consideration that there is not a bad diet, but there is a bad way of applying a diet.
All right. Now, when people when they start to work with you or when they start on any diet out there, are there things you can tell them to help them have success with their diet?
Absolutely. Another big thing that I kind of didn't really get into too much detail about is with my athletes, one of the biggest things, and the obstacle I encounter first before we even start working together, is a mental approach. So to set yourself up for success. That not only means believing in yourself, believing in what you're doing, but also surrounding yourself around people who believe in you and your conquest of what you're trying to do with your life, your ambitions, everything else. That kind of makes sense in anything you want to do with your life. If you care about your health and where you're going with your life, you always approach any kind of obstacle with, what is my obstacle? What can I do to overcome it? And in order to achieve success. And so when it comes to diet or any other kind of thing, when it comes to having a great physique or competing, you have to approach the brain first. And then the other thing that's really important is to get into someone's heart and say, make them believe in what they're doing is real and it's tangible. And if you can get to those two places, and hard meaning that how hard can someone train, how much can they exert themselves, how much do they believe spiritually in what they're doing, if you can conquer those two things as a coach, then you can get an athlete to do anything. And does that equal success? Does that mean when you step up on stage you're going to win? It equals success in that person's eye. Whether or not the judges believe you've won or not, that's out of your hands because it's a subjective panel of judges. So.
And what do you take the most pride in with your athletes?
Well, believe it or not, it's not them holding a trophy in their hand. It's not whether or not they get a contract with some supplement company. It's their personal success. That what I've given them is a sense of themselves, and that they can transform that and use that as a tool for the rest of their life, so that they can live a long, healthy life and give that to their children, to the people they care about, and a role model for others, so that it's kind of like something that spreads. It's like this wonderful idea.
All right, now speaking of role models, are there any athletes out there in the bodybuilding, fitness, and figure world that you think would make great role models for people looking to join the sport or just looking to lose weight and get in shape in
Well,
general?
the person who I'm interviewing is one. So you can go to Tiffany because obviously she's transformed herself, and I can tell you that one of the stories that she shared with me was one that I shared with other people who asked me about her, and that was that she had a sense of, had always been known as Daddy's little fat daughter, and she said about 4 weeks to 8 weeks out from her first show, she said that I now have a sense of myself. I am my own person. And to me, that's what success is about as a coach, is when your athletes come to you and say, I'm a better person because of you, and that you've helped me find myself and my direction in life. Now, whether or not that translates to fitness or bodybuilding or figure or any other kind of sport is not necessarily my focus. My focus is to give them a sense of themselves and who they are and what they are.
That is incredibly valuable. I mean, it really is valuable. And I know that many people who are going through these kind of things, transformations or just anything in general, hard work, it really pays off. And being able to say that you've grown an identity from something like this, I can't thank you more for that. And then I should probably ask you a couple more questions because people want to know. So, how much can you bench?
I don't lift for weight anymore, but when I did lift for weight, I don't know, around 500 pounds. This is a funny question I get asked all the time. How much do I bench? How much do I weigh? All these other kinds of things. I care more about how I look and how my clothes fit than any of those things. I care about, some guys think that it's important to lift heavy weights, and I don't think that's important. I think it's important that when you take a shirt off, you're proud of the way you look. And if you're proud of the way you look, then, and it took 100 pounds to get there, then that's what it took. I do lift a lot of weight. I'm naturally strong, but that has no bearing on the way I look. This is because of discipline and a lot of years of training.
Alright, thank you so much for the interview.
You're welcome.
It's been awesome. I'm going to post this on the site, and I hope you guys enjoyed it. Hope to hear from y'all soon. Anyway, his website's SeanCalder.net. That's SeanCalder.net. Or SeanCalderPersonalTraining.com. Anyway, my website is www.tiffanyforney.com, TIFFANYFORNI, and I will give you some more information later. Okay, bye.